Excellent. Okay, I am Liz Harmath, and my main function this evening is just to read the questions. Thank you all for coming, and especially our school board candidates, Ruth Beech, Daniel Dunchik, John Fanshawe, Kathy Gephardt, and Dan Maker. A few quick points before we start the Q&A section. Hopefully most of you picked up a frequently asked questions handout at the back table. We took a few questions from the National School Boards Association website to help explain what a school board does. I won't go through the whole thing because hopefully everybody here can read, but I will point out a few items. A school board's most important responsibility is to work with their communities to improve student achievement. Among other things, their work includes employing the superintendent, developing policies, curriculum, and budget, and adopting collective bargaining agreements. Most school boards do not receive a salary, and ours follows that standard. They do receive, excuse me, I'm sorry.
You do receive $2,500 a year.
Hang on. Yep. They do receive a $125 per meeting stipend, which is capped at $2,500.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, 20 meetings a year.
So for the hours that you put into the job, which are many, that works out to essentially volunteers, like many people here in this room. There are 3 open seats on the ballot, and each have 4-year terms. The 3 candidates receiving the most votes will be our new school board members. The structure for this evening's meeting is a Q&A with questions gathered from friends, neighbors, teachers, etc. If you have a question, please write it on the index card, hopefully everybody got one, and give it to Mrs. Wisman. She's in the back in black. Sorry. There are so many questions tonight that we'd like to ask, but unfortunately time is short, so if we don't get to yours, my sincere apologies. Each candidate will have 1.5 minutes to answer each question, and we do have a timer, Ms. Van Grace, to give them a 30-second warning. To assist in preparation, candidates were given some of the broad-ranging topics that we might cover this evening, but not specific questions. And we will start with 2-minute introductions. Mrs. Beech, you're up first. Is it there?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Thank you. My name is Ruth Beech. I have 2 children at Rocky River Middle School and 1 at Rocky River High School. All students in the district since kindergarten. I'm a small business owner, and I write textbooks and educational material. For the last 5 years, I've written for the school district's website. I've interviewed teachers, staff, administrators, and students in all our school buildings. The people working in our schools have gotten to know me well, and I have gotten to know them. Our schools are strong and successful, and I intend to use my personal and professional knowledge and experiences to help keep them that way, while being mindful of the way our taxpayer money is spent. Fiscally, our schools have switched to a 5-year levy cycle instead of a 3-year levy cycle, thanks in large part to the efforts of our school board. Our construction and infrastructure is strong as well. Construction is complete on our high school, and recent years have seen major improvements to each of the other buildings. Our school's mission includes forming citizens who are globally competitive, a goal that is already being met in a number of ways. One additional way I would like to see explored is the introduction of foreign languages to our students at an earlier grade. We need to make sure that when a staff or teaching position is open, qualified candidates of all races and backgrounds are eager to apply. And we need to continue to make sure that our students feel safe when they come to school, safe from bullying and any form of violence. And there's an interest in before and after care that is currently being addressed. How can these things be accomplished? As a member of the school board, I will listen to these concerns and those of every citizen. I will research and use my years of interviewing and communication skills to find out what can be accomplished and how. Let's get some new perspectives and new voices on our school board. And let's have at least one member who has children currently enrolled. I'm ready and eager to listen, learn, research, and solve. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
My name is Daniel Dunchak. Is it on? Okay. My name is Daniel Dunchak, and this is obviously my very first time running for office. I have 23 years of experience with the federal government, doing enforcement of various labor laws, such as child labor laws. I also am working on a PhD in urban studies and public policy, and I've actually taught classes myself. I've also reviewed textbooks for the American Society of Public Administration. But having said that, no, I do not have any children in the school system whatsoever. And no, I am actually not originally born and raised in Rocky River. I was born and raised actually in the city of Cleveland. I grew up in Bay Village on Edinburgh, which is like, about 1,000 feet from Rocky River. And I had a 440-331-4476 telephone. But having said that, it's true. Now, what kind of advantage in the world would that ever be? The advantage is I am a neutral arbiter. I literally deal with complex situations on an hourly basis. So one of the skills, just like she has, is listening. Also interviewing, reviewing financial records, and no, I'm not a rubber stamp. But having said that, there's a couple things I'm interested in. One is I don't believe we should blow up the system. I think we have amazing people already in the school board who are doing great things. I also believe that we have great staff, like Dr. Schoaf and Ms. Anderson. Did I get your name right?
No, but that's okay.
Okay, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. But having said that, one, I want to maintain our legacy. I don't want to have another levy increase for at least until 2023. I also do want to increase access to all-day kindergarten for reduced lunch. And last one is reduced bullying from anybody.
Good evening. My name is John Fanshawe. Some of you know me, some of you may know very little about me, so let me just take a minute to introduce myself. I work here in town as pastor of a Presbyterian church here in town. My wife is in her 20th year teaching choral music at Rocky River Middle School. She has been teaching here much longer than I've been on the board. We have 3 boys, all are grads of the district. 2 of them are also music teachers, one in New York City and one at Mayfield High School. And then our 3rd son is in retail and theater. So I've lived here for 26 years, but I didn't grow up here. I started school at a parochial school in Chicago. I attended public schools in Illinois and New York. I graduated from high school at an international school in Jakarta, Indonesia, where I lived for 4 years while my parents were missionaries. So, having lived here for 26 years, my familiarity with Rocky River is also influenced by experiences elsewhere. So I'm completing my 8th year on the school board, and I ran originally in 2009 because I believe in the essential role of strong public education. Since at least the 1800s, public education in the United States has refined and strengthened the democratic process, and what a great demonstration that is tonight, just this event here. The democratic process has transformed children into adults and has transformed students into citizens. So in the past 3 years, we have welcomed 3 new members to the board, each with skills and commitments to share for the sake of our students and staff and residents. And I decided to run again this year to offer a continuity of experience to the overall makeup of our board. I want to continue to support our superintendent and his administration in their fine work, as evidenced by our recent 2nd state ranking.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Gefford. I'm in my 4th term on the Rocky River Board of Education. I truly enjoy my time as a board member, and I believe it's important to give back to the community. Rocky River schools have given my children a great education. I want to continue moving this district forward and to continue to demand the high standard of education the citizens of Rocky River deserve. I bring to the board 16 years of experience, a master's degree in public administration, and 34 years of public service, including 25 years experience in budget research, analysis, and preparation. This background helps me to attain the goal of maintaining a school district that is fiscally responsible and accountable to you, the residents of Rocky River. During my tenure, we have eliminated the 3-year levy cycle that have been in place since the 1980s. We are currently working with a 5-year levy cycle and are trying to further extend the levy cycle. During my time on the board, we have seen our school district improve from a ranking 30 in 2002 to ranking 2nd in the state in 2017 on the state report card. In addition, our high school ACT and SAT scores remain well above the state and national averages. We now offer 15 advanced placement courses. We have dual credit opportunities through Cuyahoga Community College. We now offer 17 high school music and art courses. We now have a strategic plan in place. Globally competitive, exceptional opportunities, caring environment, successful students. My 3 overall education priorities are academic, finance, and safety. If elected, I would like to strengthen our technology offerings and continue to hire skilled and highly qualified teachers. I am committed to continue the excellent working relationship that exists between your Board of Education, Rocky River City leaders, and other local organizations. I have served on many committees over the years. I currently serve on the Rocky River Rec Commission. I taught PSR for 6 years at St. Chris. My participation with various groups throughout the community provides me the opportunity to interact with a wide variety of parents and community members, thus gaining valuable feedback on what is important to the families of Rocky River. I ask for your support in electing me, Kathy Gufford, to a 5th term on your Rocky River Board of Education.
I would like to thank those who put the candidate forum together tonight. My name is Dan Mayer, and I was born and raised in Rocky River. I have a child in the district, Peter, 7th grade. My wife and I graduated in 1990 from Rocky River High School. I own a new product development company where I design, manufacture, and distribute safety products for industrial construction companies. Prior to that, I was a project manager for a construction company that focused on interior renovation of healthcare facilities, anything from operating rooms to lunchrooms. Why I'm running for the Rocky River Board of Education, what is my motivation? There is a need on the Board of Education for someone with an interest and knowledge of construction. A great deal of money is allocated to the permanent improvement of the school district building and facilities. Someone needs to understand where the money is being spent on, what the money is being spent on. My background in construction management makes me well suited for the task, asking the questions to ensure we are providing the necessary focus on student safety and academic requirements while meeting the financial goals of the district. I have been attending Board of Education meetings for over a year now. Someone with my qualifications and experience would be a welcome addition to the Rocky River Board of Education. What I bring to the Rocky River Board of Education, a level of creativity, the ability to look at things differently. I see myself as a problem solver. I understand we must rely on others to accomplish the many tasks that face this school district. Excuse me. I have an openness and an eagerness to listen and understand differing ideas. I am someone who asks questions and is not afraid to disagree or challenge ideas. And I've learned projects always don't go well. I have the experience and knowledge of working with others to get things back on track and move the project forward. As a project manager, I have a history of relying on talent of other people to reach a common goal. My focuses are 4, student safety, academic excellence, facility maintenance, fiscal responsibility. The school facilities are continually changing to meet the academic needs of our globally competitive school district, and I'm qualified to meet those changing needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. That is going to go all the way back down to Mrs. Beech. And for those who are standing and don't want to stand for the next hour and 15 minutes, we do have a couple seats up here in the front if you want to sit, so FYI. Now on to the questions. I'll start with Mrs. Beech for the first one and keep passing the microphone to the left, and then we'll have a different person start each new question. And the first question is sort of a 2-part. We have some people clearly here with experience sitting on the board and other new candidates. So for new candidates, the question is, what research have you done into Board of Ed responsibilities and best practices? How have you specifically prepared to sit on Rocky River's board?
So I decided a couple of years ago that I was interested in running for the board, and when my kids got to be of the age where I felt like I could spare the time, now that I have 7th graders, I decided this was the year to do it. And in the time I was thinking about being on the school board versus actually running, one thing that I've realized about the board is the role of the board is not as sort of day-to-day as I had perhaps thought it was. The role of the board really is to help set policy, to make sure that the people are in place and that the money is there to do what needs to be done. And then to trust the people who are in place to make sure that those things are done. So in response to that question, I have learned a lot about school boards since I started this campaign. And I'm very comfortable with the fact that we do have in place a very good group of people, a good base of a school board, and my role coming onto that would be to kind of help make sure that things can keep running in a smooth way as they have been, and to sort of troubleshoot if things come up. So I have learned a lot in these few months that I've been running.
Well, when I first decided to run, first of all, I'm a federal employee, and under the Hatch Act, this is literally the only position I can run for. And I always wanted to run for school board because this is literally where everyone first experiences government. Everybody goes to school, and that's what happens. Not necessarily, every day you see a pothole, but every day your child is being educated. And I went to all the board meetings once I decided I wanted to run for office. I read this in all its entirety, which is the annual financial report, and then I read the website about all the policies, and I really read that in detail. That's kind of what I do in my job anyway, which is review financial information and also look at policies and how rules and regulations are enforced. One of the things that I think that I can bring when I was looking at that was I am a neutral arbiter, and a lot of times the board can serve that function of being an interface between the community and the administration. Thank you.
Okay, so yours is related but a little bit different because clearly you have experience sitting on the board. Many occupations, including teaching, require continuing education hours to keep practitioners